If you ever wanted to stick to something and accomplish big goals, then this video is for you. When I was younger, I played the piano, a lot more seriously than I do now. But I would go to these recitals where there would be this star player, just amazing at what they do. I envied those players, and I always thought that their talent just got them there, that they were just born with it. But turns out I was quite wrong. Over the years, I have become fascinated by why some people are more successful than others. What makes one person take on a challenge, stick with it, and succeed? Well, that is exactly what this book is about. Grit by Angela Duckworth. Utterly captivating, it shows that the biggest predictor of long-term success and achievement is actually grit, a special blend of passion and perseverance. It turns out that talent and intelligence have less to do with success than we think. They are important, but effort is much more important. When we have just a little bit of talent and apply some effort, we develop a skill. And then once we have that skill and take even a little bit more effort onto that, then we have achievement. It turns out that the effort consistently over time is the key. Like in my piano story, many people like to look at super successful people as if talent alone just got them there. What they don't see is that it took hours and hours of practice and work to get there. In fact, thinking that talent is the most important thing can hold us back, because it makes us believe that we need some sort of magic or genius to achieve hard or great things. Ultimately, that's what happened with me and my piano playing. It didn't go anywhere because I just didn't put enough practice in. Grit is also about having a life philosophy, the thing that we live by and are working towards with a large and clear goal. The clearer the vision of our life is, the easier it is to let go of goals that don't align with our life philosophy. And then the more time we have to work on that top goal that we have. Once we do the work to create that clear vision, then it's that discipline and effort to maintain the vision that makes it all work. If you're looking for an exercise to help you make that clear vision of your life, I did a video recently about the 10-year plan to your remarkable life. I'll put a link down below. Being gritty is really hard, especially for me because I have so many interests that I found it hard to concentrate on just one, feeling like I would cut out too many things in my life. So I never had a really clear goal where I was headed, and I think that that's the norm for a lot of people. The good news is that grit can be developed, and Angela has 4 ways we can do that. Number 1, be interested. We have to be really interested in whatever we want to learn or do. These are long-term goals, and the interest has to be there, otherwise we just won't stick with it. Some people have natural passions from a young age and they just stick with it and that's it, and they're done. They can continue working on that one thing. I am definitely not like that, and that's where experimenting really helps. Taking smaller chunks to see what really interests us is the experimental phase, and the biggest key is not to be afraid of wasting time. I think that was always my biggest fear, but in the end, there's nothing wasted. We always learn something, even if it's something that's not for us. Without experimenting, we just won't figure out which things will stick and which ones won't. It's just part of the process. And if we think about it as a process, then it just becomes easier. Number 2, practice. Not just any sort of practice, but deliberate practice. Studies of experts in many different fields shows that they are actually logging thousands and thousands of hours of deliberate practice. Here's how they did it. They set a clearly defined stretch goal, something just outside their comfort zone. They put all of their focus on just working on that one goal at a time. They got continual feedback from outside sources. Make it a habit. Routines make it easier to do something really hard. Just that routine of doing it every day at the same time after the same thing helps to keep that progress and momentum going. And then once they did that over and over, they tracked it and made sure they were making the progress, and then they mastered that skill. This deliberate practice will improve our skill. This slow, continual progress is what it's all about. Number 3, purpose, finding our why. Higher levels of purpose give us higher levels of grit because it gives us that reason to keep going when we just want to give up, like we just don't want to do it anymore. At first, we're often looking at our own self-interest when we're developing these goals or interests. But really, as we get better over time and our skills become better and we're just naturally achieving more, oftentimes we want to share that and give to others whatever we have learned and help them with that skill. So it becomes more outwardly focused, and that helps to increase our sense of purpose. Number 4, hope. We have to believe that we can change things and that we can work harder and learn. And that's the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is when we believe that working harder or continually learning will get us to that goal. Whereas a fixed mindset makes us believe that only talent and intelligence are important and that we can't inherently change anything. So those were Angela's top 4 tips on how to increase our grit. Learning how to stick with something even when it gets hard is an important life skill. The science shows that grit is more important than talent and that we can increase our grit. I'm in love with this book because I find it's just such an important lesson to teach people, especially kids, that in the end, greatness is about our daily actions and not something that we're born with. There are no shortcuts to excellence. So go out and buy it, read it, devour it, take in all the lessons, share it with your coworkers, your friends, anybody. It's that good. I'll put a link to Angela's website down below, as well as her TED Talks. I find them really, really interesting. Now I would love to hear from you. What is one of your top level goals that you would love to apply grit to? Mine is to keep making videos that are useful, engaging, and entertaining on topics that help us live our best lives. My stretch goal right now is to have a consistent video schedule because I have a little baby in the house and logistics are a bit of an issue right now. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. I thank you so much for stopping by and for your time. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I love reading the questions and comments. Thanks for watching and see you next time.